So, very good morning to all the respected listeners. Uh, Last day, I have just posted a clinical hematology series introduction as well as the DLC in short, in a very concise manner. Now, we'll discuss the Viva questions out of DLC which you can expect, and also the important factors that may help you to just delineate the causes of hematological disorders. First, let's start with the composition of the Leishman stain, which is used for staining a peripheral blood smear. And you have to just know the components of the stain and what is the function of each and every component. So, first, see, Leishman stain is a modification of the Romanowsky stain group. So, there are many stain groups, out of which there is a Romanowsky stain group, and this consists of a compound dye, that is eosinate of methylene blue, which is dissolved in a acetone free methyl alcohol. Okay, so one by one we'll just see all the things. It is an eosinate, means it's a sol of eosin in a methylene blue, and which is dissolved in a which medium? It is dissolved in a acetone free methyl alcohol. So eosin is an acidic dye which is negatively charged. Mind you, it is negatively charged, so it is going to stain the basic particles, that is the granules of eosinophils. So it's an acidic dye, it is going to stain the basic granules of eosinophils and RBCs, and it is imparting a light pink color to the RBCs. Now, methylene blue, it is a basic dye, it is positively charged and stains the acidic, the negatively charged granules in the cytoplasm, that is especially the granules of the basophil and the nuclei of the leukocytes, and impart a blue violet color. So eosin dye is acidic, methylene blue is basic, B for blue, B for basic. Since it is acidic, it's going to stain the basic granules of eosinophils. Since methylene blue is basic, it is going to stain the acidic granules of basophil. So whatever part is being stained by eosinophil is getting a pink color. Whatever part is stained by methylene blue is going to be stained with a blue violet color. Now, these eosinate of methylene blue is actually dissolved in a acetone-free methyl alcohol, which is absolutely water-free. So, methyl alcohol is a fixative and it must be free from acetone and water, right? So, it is acetone-free, it is water-free, that's methyl alcohol. It serves two functions. It fixes the blood smear, the smear which we make, two slides. It serves as a fixator. The alcohol which is present, it precipitates the plasma proteins. Okay, this is a precipitation reaction which we study in biochemistry. So it precipitates the plasma protein which then act as a glue, right? So this is how the blood smear is fixed to the slide, and it attaches or fixes the blood cells to the slide so that they are not washed away during the process of staining. Then second, the alcohol is preserving the morphology and the chemical status of the cells, right? So first it is precipitating the plasma protein so that they act as a glue which fixes the slide. Second, it is going to preserve the morphology and the chemical status of the cells, so they are viable. Alcohol must be free from acetone because acetone being a very strong lipid solvent, right? It will, if it will be present, it will cause the crenation, the shrinkage, or even the destruction of all the cell membrane. This will make the identification of the cells very difficult, and identification of the cell is most important for any smear. Otherwise, the smear is not of use. So, if the acetone is at all present, the stain will deteriorate quickly and there will be no use of that stain. Now, the alcohol must be free from water, since water presence may result in the rouleau formation and even the hemolysis, right? Water will result in the stacking of RBCs and the hemolysis, and the water may even wash away the blood film from the slide. So these are the various components of our Romanowsky stain, the Leishman stain, which is used in the PBS staining. Normal DLC value we have covered in the last video. Once again, I'll revise. Neutrophils are 40 to 75%. If you are just observing 100 WBCs in 100 field, what you can count is neutrophil you will get 40 to 75, eosinophils about 1 to 4, basophils 0 to 1, monocytes 2 to 8, and lymphocytes 20 to 40, which means most abundant is neutrophil, followed by lymphocytes, followed by monocytes, followed by eosinophils, followed by basophils. Now we'll see the variations in the normal count, which is very important. Whenever a physician orders CBC and you see the DLC value, if the isolated neutrophilia or isolated lymphocytosis or some neutropenia or lymphopenia is seen, how can you draw the conclusion out of it? So first, neutrophilia. Neutrophilia is what? It is increase in the neutrophil count. That is more than your 40 to 75%. If neutrophilia is observed, What can be the causes? Causes are acute infection, especially the fever, acute pyogenic infection, which are going to reduce the release of interleukin 1, which is responsible for pyrexia fever. Then appendicitis. Okay, so acute pyogenic infection, appendicitis, or there is pneumonia, or there's some respiratory tract infection, whooping cough, or in case of myocardial infarction also as a result of tissue necrosis, they're going to release the growth factors which are responsible for the increased formation of neutrophil. Then surgery or burns, and the effect of drugs such as the emergency drugs, the epinephrine and glucocorticoids, they are going to cause neutrophilia, right? Acute pyogenic infection, appendicitis, whooping cough, pneumonia, myocardial infarction, surgery, burns, and drugs like epinephrine and glucocorticoids. Now, neutropenia, that is the different, that is in decrease in the neutrophil count. Okay, what is the normal neutrophil count? It is 40 to 75%. If it comes out to be less than that, we call that condition as neutropenia. The causes may be, of course, the bone marrow depression, that is, we call it aplastic anemia, or there may be splenomegaly, or any as a result of any X-ray irradiation, or because of some chemotherapy, anti-cancer drug. Also, in certain fevers like the typhoid, paratyphoid, and in case of viral infection, what you will get is neutropenia. And also in case of CML, the chronic myeloid leukemia, the derangement you will observe in the neutrophils. Now, another is the causes of eosinophilia and eosinopenia. Eosinophilia is increase in eosinophil count. Eosinopenia is decrease in eosinophil count. So, eosinophilia, the causes would be asthma. Okay, first of all, asthma. This is the most important question which is asked. Asthma, hay fever, tropical eosinophilia, parasitic worm infestation, skin diseases such as psoriasis and pemphigus, and Addison's disease. So, such type of eosinophilic conditions are there. Eosinopenia will be observed, that is decrease in count. However, the count is very less, but in case of certain condition, the count comes out to be very low. That is in case of Cushing syndrome or ACTH injection or stress and aplastic anemia. Aplastic anemia is going to be the universal cause of decrease in any type of blood count. Now, causes of basophilia and basopenia, again, basophilia is increase in basophil count, that is seen in chronic sinusitis, special cases, tuberculosis and chickenpox. And basopenia is seen in ACTH injection after giving that cortisol therapy and stress. Now, causes of monocytosis and monocytopenia. Monocytosis will be seen from monocytosis, so it will be seen in infectious mononucleosis, tuberculosis. Tuberculosis we have also seen basophilia. So glandular fever, endocarditis, malaria, and kala-azar. So here itself, your DD of the pyrexia of unknown origin you can do. For example, we have seen that in malarial parasite, obviously, and kala-azar, in such infections, in such fevers, you will always find the count of monocyte more. Where we have seen in typhoid and paratyphoid infections and the viral infection, we have seen the neutrophil count is going to be less. And also in acute infections, such as the acute infection, you find neutrophil more. Okay, so this is how you can draw to various conclusion. And TB and chickenpox infection, you will see the basophil count is going towards the higher side. Now, monocytopenia, again we have aplastic anemia and the septicemia. So for malaria and kala-azar, there is sinusitis. For TB and chickenpox, there is basophilia. For the presence of any parasitic worm infestation, skin diseases, or asthma, we have eosinophilia. Certain infection like typhoid, paratyphoid, and viral infection, we have neutropenia. And certain infections like the acute pyogenic infection. Okay, pyogenic means the pus-forming infection. We have the whooping cough and pneumonia and appendicitis. The neutrophil count is more. So this is how you're going to differentiate the DD. Now, causes of lymphocytosis and lymphocytopenia. Of course, lymphocytosis will be observed in TB and also the lymphocytic leukemia itself, syphilis, infectious mononucleosis where the monocyte count is also increased, and in infants. And lymphocytopenia will be observed, that is decrease in lymphocyte count in the TB, X radiation, AIDS, mainly the T helper cells, you will see their count is less, Cushing syndrome, and the immunosuppressive therapy. So this is how you can see that in case of a CVC, in case of any fever, what you can see, you will find this classical causes of various types of WBCs which are present or absent. So in the next video, we'll see the functions of the WBCs and we'll also see the uses of PBS. Okay. So thank you.